So they had this major rally, Second Amendment rally in Virginia on yesterday. I believe it was yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. Monday. January, what was yesterday's date? Monday, January 20th in Virginia. Everybody and their mama showed up for this rally. I'm like, yes, that's amazing. And it was on Martin Luther King Jr.'s day yesterday. Everybody and their mom, even some black people were there. Surprise, surprise, surprise. But that was nice to see for a change. Black people stand up for what is right. And as you know, the Democrats taking over in Virginia for the most part. And they said once they take over, they're going to change things. But yet the people voted for them. So now you're getting what you deserve because you knew that the Democrats are no good. And yet you voted them in. Not all, of course. I just can't believe that the people who showed up for the Second Amendment rally in Virginia voted for the Democrats. It's amazing to see this happening in our country. This is from CNN. Virginia gun rights rally concludes peacefully. Amazing. A large gun right rally in Virginia state capitol unfolded peacefully Monday, despite early fears of the kind of violence that took place in nearby Charlottesville 3 years ago. I don't think that the media, the Democrats, they were not afraid of that at all. They were just saying that to hopefully stop the rally from happening and take your gun. The one thing that I am sure about, many things I am sure about, but the one is that Democrats are not afraid of violence because they are violent. They are very violent people. We've seen it come out of them since the president been in the White House, the Great White Hope. So when they say, oh, we're afraid of violence, they're lying. They create the violence. They start the violence. So they're lying about that, all right? Here's the soundbite.
What you are seeing here is a scene of thousands, not hundreds, perhaps tens of thousands of people. So far, it has been very quiet. They are all here for one single reason.
White people stand up for the country. Of course, you have those who are against it, liberal Democrats who are against America, but white people stand up. This is why you got to get married and have white babies. Because as the people of color take over, it's over, folks. The people of color can't run anything. Those who were born here and those who come here. Because if they could, they would be doing it in their own countries. And those who were born here, if they were able to run anything and made it better, you would see it in the inner cities. You would see it in the country. When the people of color take over, it's over. Look what happened when Obama became president. Obama nearly destroyed America. Really. And I hear that he's still involved behind closed doors. I don't know how true that is, but I wouldn't be surprised. But white people are the one that founded and created the greatest country on this side of heaven. And that's why you can't let them push you out. And the other point I wanted to make, I noticed when I was watching the news, the liberal whites were going along with the blacks, saying that white supremacist rally, a white supremacist rally. And it wasn't true at all. And I thought to myself, that's amazing that you could just say that about white people and No problem, right? But you can't say that about the blacks and others. You can't say black supremacy or Mexican supremacy or Japanese supremacy or Chinese supremacy. But you can just lie. You can say whatever you want about the whites. That was not, first of all, no such thing as white supremacy, but that was not a white supremacy rally. That was a Second Amendment rally. The Democrats tried to take the people guns. And they call it white supremacy. To put fear in you and to attack white, straight men, particularly Christian men.
On the Capitol grounds, they chanted "Northam out," referencing Virginia's Democratic governor. Ahead of today's demonstration, the governor declared a state of emergency and banned all weapons on Capitol grounds. But outside that secured area, many demonstrators were heavily armed. Look at them. They look like soldiers there, some wearing body armor. And there are fears there could be violence, particularly from white extremists.
No, it's not true, folks. They're saying those things to brainwash you and bring fear upon you. Nobody was afraid. Even the Democrats were not afraid. They're not afraid of Antifa. You don't see them running from Antifa, right? Or Black Lives Matter. You can't get any more radical than Black Lives Matter, Antifa, and all those people. But the Democrats are not afraid of them. So why are they acting, pretending to be afraid of normal white people? I am so happy to see that rally, the people show up for the Second Amendment yesterday. You don't want them to take away your guns, folks. And that's what they want to do. And it's just not normal. This next soundbite, the last one I have for you here, is from 1999. And I just want to show you that we have, here at Bond, we've been fighting for the Second Amendment for this country for a long time. This is not new to us. I'm so happy to see other people getting involved. You don't want your guns taken away from you. You really don't. So this is about 2 minutes, I think. So I was speaking here in California, Los Angeles, about our Second Amendment. They've been trying to take our guns for a long time, and we've been fighting for a long time. So I'm speaking at, I believe it's the city council or some meeting downtown, where the Democrats were trying to take away our rights to bear arms. Here's that soundbite.
Supervisors that's also looking into a lawsuit against gun makers. Gene Martinez has more.
Sir, you're out of order.
He has to be removed. He needs to be removed. I'd like to request that he.
Sir, if you are going to.
I would like to request that he be removed.
Please be removed. Remove him, please.
Intense emotions as the LA County Board of Supervisors votes to ban the sale of cheap handguns.
My name is Reverend Jesse Lee Peterson. I am founder and director of a national nonprofit organization called BOND, the Brotherhood Organization of a New Destiny. I've been working with gang members and non-gang members alike for the last 9 years, and it is devastating what is happening. I first want to ask, how many of you live in the inner cities? May I see a show of hands of you who live in the inner cities that would be voting on this bill? None of you live in the inner cities. Okay. I want you to know that there are parents, there are mothers with no husbands in their homes who are living in the inner cities, who are law-abiding citizens, and if you take away their rights to bear arms, they will not be able to protect themselves from the gang members and anyone who decides that they want to break into the home or rob or kill or whatever. I've noticed that the people with the guns are the gang members. They're not the citizens in the city. And this is another attack on the citizens, on the innocents. I realize what has happened with you people is that you have failed to deal with the criminals. You don't know how to deal with them, and so what you're doing is coming after the good citizens and you go home at the end of the day feeling good about doing nothing. You think that you have done a job, so you pat yourself on the back. But what you're doing is hurting the citizens. We have a Second Amendment right to bear arms. And if you take away these guns, the poor citizens in the inner cities will not be able to afford the guns. They can't afford to protect themselves. If you want to solve the problems with violence and drugs, what you need to do is repair the family. These kids are committing crimes because they don't have fathers and good mothers in their home.
So I'm at the rally. Man, Jesse, I got to tell you, peaceful, people high-fiving each other, people just great. And let me tell you something. This is how much of idiots the media is. They're talking about there was racist. They said, where's the racist people at? No racist people there. There's a little bit of Antifa, but, you know, whatever. And they got the most loudest ovation, and that let people. That's just proof there was no racists there.
Yeah.
The majority were white people. They white, Jesse. 22,000 people, one arrest, and it was because an Antifa member. It was a girl, had to be a lady, wouldn't take off her mask.
Yeah.
They arrested her because in Virginia you can't wear a mask in public.
Good.
And yeah, exactly. And they arrested her. Other than that, no arrest.
Amazing. And don't forget to like, follow, tweet, subscribe, and share the Jesse Lee Peterson radio show, folks. We really appreciate it. We are at war. It is a spiritual battle for the soul of America. And it's going to take all of us to do it.